This video is brought to you by eToro. Now, you may have seen that eToro sponsor a number of Premier League clubs. Now, if you don't have time to invest, you can use eToro's CopyTrader feature, copy top performing investors, so when they make a trade, you make the same trade automatically at no additional cost. Then click the link in the description and get on it right now.
Welcome to AFTV. Now, I've got Kenny Ken with me, and since doing these interviews with you, bro, you've taught me loads through your passion, your knowledge, doing these fan cams. I mean, I've learned from you, but nothing's really got better from the team since we've started. We've got another defeat on the record, 4-1 to Man City. I know it's a cup game, but if I'm honest, I don't care. It's another defeat, and it's a step. Oh, it's not even a step back now. It's just turmoil right now. We're at the bottom. We're below the floor. I don't know what you took from today's game. I don't know if you had any opinions that you want to discuss. Talk to me.
Well, first and foremost, it's the manner of the team selection as well. There's certain players that you have that are going to run their nuts for you, and you've got players that are unselectable. And unfortunately, when you have players that are unselectable, and I don't need to mention their names, they're going to cost you. The first goal was a comedy errors for 3 players that I consider to be unselectable. You know, it does all three mistakes. One of them's not picking up, one's not telling one's to go, and one's not taking responsibility of commanding his area. That is, and then you have a situation where for 20 minutes we're just sitting there feeling sorry for ourselves, confusion all over the place, manager micromanaging the players as he usually does, and no one's taking a bit of notice of him. And it's taken for a young kid, 19-year-old, to galvanise us, get us an equaliser, and then what's happened is that he raised their tempo, and then what's happened?
It sounds like a regular theme for Arsenal right now, isn't it? We've got either it's going to be Martinelli or bloody Saka. That's just the youngsters that are being a shining lights, and it's around.
Well, the thing is, Cecil, about all of that is that they're unspoiled by politics in the dressing room, and agendas as well. They just want to play football. They want to play football. They don't care whether who's in charge. The fact of the matter is they're playing football. They're hungry. They're enthusiastic, and they're. When you're young, you're the sort of people who just say, "All right, win, lose or draw." You want to say to your mates, "Did you see how I played this yesterday? Did you see how I busted this skill? Did you see that?" And players like Smith Rowe, Saka, Bellerin, all those young guys, and Martinelli as well. They're the sort of people who just want to play. And the problem is that Arteta is relying on those players to put some fire in him because he's lost senior players. So if you look at our equaliser, it's Martinelli who creates the equaliser. He basically puts some fire into Lacazette. Lacazette scores, and then Martinelli gets injured, and then it kills the second half because, again, this is another example of this man's man management. Everyone knew it was a bad injury. The guy's putting his shirt over his face and saying, I can't go on. But because the manager's desperate and he knows that players like him are going to ignite fire and attitude into his team, he forces him out. And then, hey presto, 2 minutes later, he's on the floor. And then
similar
what
to
you do...
Sorry to cut you. Similar to the Partey incident, when Partey went off injured, he pushed him back on. Would you say that?
Exactly. And you know why? It's because players like Partey, Martinelli, Saka, Tierney, they're players he can rely on in a crisis because the simple reasons they're unspoiled, and Gabriel as well, they're unspoiled by the dressing room factions. They got no agendas against this manager. They're going to play for this manager. So whatever happens, the little quality that we have, and let's face it, Cecil, I'm not going to be cruel, right? We're relying on players, right? All those players I mentioned. Now, none of those players are going to get in the top 6 sides, all right?
Yes.
In the old days when Arsene was here, Wenger was here and George was here, those players, we wouldn't be signing players like that. We'd be signing players of a higher echelon and higher quality. But because of where we are and because we're a sure thing in terms of players know they come to Arsenal, don't have to work too hard, we're on an easy street. Oh yeah, we can quadruple our wages as well. Of course I'm coming here. If I play crap, I'm still going to get a game. And it's that sort of thing. So he knows he can't rely on those players. But the problem is that he's killing them because he surrounded them with players who couldn't give a toss. Now, the player that replaced Martinelli couldn't give a toss. He couldn't give a toss. You know, and I know. I'm not going to mention his name because people think he's untrade treated. But let's face it, until the 92nd minute when he had that bit of skill, couldn't give a toss. The player like Maitland-Niles, you know, he was doing 2 or 3 people's jobs. He started to make mistakes. So we've got a situation now that this defeat is not salvageable. Losing 4-1 at home to Man City is not salvageable. So if Mikel Arteta's got any dignity, I want Mikel Arteta to do one thing for me. Admit your time is up. No messing around. None of the garbage that you came out in your press conference yesterday. Oh, yeah, 60% about probability and doing some mathematical equations about, 67% of the time we would have won and we lost. No. Your time's up, mate. Your time's up. You're basically, you've lost your dressing room. Your senior players that you need around you do not want to play for you. The unselectables, even if they want to play for you, are not good enough to play for you. You're killing the youngsters because what's happening is that you're running them into the ground, and then what will happen is that they're going to get injuries. So the players that you rely on, like your Partey's and Martinelli's, you're going to lose them now. So come Chelsea, Martinelli may not play now because it looked like, to me, it looked like a bit of a metatarsal injury or maybe someone on the sort of angle, but it looked like it wasn't like a ligament injury. It looks like a bone injury, and he's forced him out there.
So there's no way. Sorry, there's no way for Arteta to change your mind at all if he wins.
It's finished. You can't give Arteta the Chelsea game because the simple reason is that we're in a territory now where we've got 24 games left, and if you look at our games, you've got Chelsea, then you've got Brighton and West Brom. Now, because of Arteta's incompetence and because of the fact that we've got bad eggs in the dressing room, we've got players who are blatantly playing for this football club for the money and the prestige of playing for Arsenal, but they couldn't give a toss about winning football matches for us. We're now turned Brighton is now a 6-pointer. Yes, Brighton's only win in this calendar year was against Arsenal. They did double over us, so they're going to be up for it. Sam Allardyce, even though West Brom haven't got much quality, Sam Allardyce is going to relish placing Arsenal because he knows all he's got to do, win your second balls, first goal against them, and then what you do is run, and their heads will go down. So what? Right. So are we going to risk allowing him to carry on? Because let's face it now, after that, your next games are Crystal Palace at home, Newcastle at home, Wolves away, Aston Villa away. Then you've got Man United in between that, and you've got Leicester City. Now, the way we're playing, how many points do you think we're going to get under this manager and under this current regime of players, where players are not playing for the manager, they're throwing him under the bus? Now, I said to you on Saturday, there's 25 against 1. Where do you see this going? Where do you see the points? Can you help me out here? Because I don't. Where's the points come from?
I don't. I've been trying to be positive all week, but I don't see the points coming. If I'm completely honest, from what I'm watching, I'm watching terrible football.
Yeah, and where's the light? And there's no light at the end of the tunnel, Cecil. You're watching terrible football, but then the dark moment was, people were saying, "Oh, we're criticising people, saying, oh, you've got to give him time. You've got to give him 2 or 3 transfer windows." Hey, let me tell you something now. The football's about if-onlys, what-ifs and if-onlys. Let me tell you something now. What if has already left town, all right? Because what if was Burnley, all right? When we lost against Burnley, a team that couldn't score for in a brothel, and I use some colloquialism, and I apologise for any children watching this and their parents watching this, but that was what if. That's left town now. So if only is already packed the car. You already got the boot. So the if only now is West Brom and Brighton. So are you going to even risk that by giving this guy one of those games and allowing him to have a January window? He's out of his depth. He's out of depth. Agreed. Everything he does, I've got a list of things he's doing wrong. Man management, team selection, tactics. They're not working. Nothing this guy does is working. Basically, he's lifted off the FA Cup where he's papered over the cracks. He divides a back five style where he's playing out the back and trying to hit teams in the counter club. Guess what? Low block, putting men around the ball, and they've worked us out.
Yeah.
So what they do is that not only do they have the low block, they say to their defenders, play the high line and press, because you know full well the way they're passing, they're not going to play the ball over the top because it's not the way they're going to play. So we can actually play the high line, and even if we did, because Aubameyang isn't like I said, isn't pulling his leg, or Lacazette isn't trying, we're playing them offside. We are so easy to play against. If you look at instances when Man City played, they were walking. Everton walking in the second half. They said, well, we're 2-1 up here. We could just like put men in the ball and let's game manage this situation. Southampton tried to do that because they couldn't get a second win. People don't realise the urgency of the situation. We are in a relegation battle, whether we like it or not. Just being the Arsenal and having a big name doesn't work. People don't care. We scare no one, Arsenal. We haven't scared a team for a good while. We are easy to beat. Our players are not Henri, Bergkamp, Adams, Bold.
The Vieiras,
Vieira. We don't have those players. The Petit Vieira days, the Marwoods, Alan Smith, Ian Wright days, they're over. This is modern Arsenal now, where we've allowed people to mismanage the situation. We've allowed a culture where we're on easy street. And because we've allowed this, we've let it creep in. So when people praise Arsene Wenger and say, oh, fourth is a trophy, that was the beginning and the end. Because once you settle for the mediocrity of fourth place, which is third loser, and then you basically make that excuse, oh yeah, we're building a stadium, we ain't got no money. That's no excuse. You keep on trying to find a way to find players. The players are there. But now what you're going to get is that we're not going to get elite players to come to this football club, because the simple reason is that they don't need to come to this football club. And even the gems of the Premiership will go, well, I'll go Man City and Man United because we can win something. I'll go Liverpool. I'll wait for Liverpool. They're not going to come to Arsenal. They're going to go to Tottenham because they know they've got an elite system set up and they've got a good manager. That is how far things are stopped. But the thing about it is, Cecil, you ain't seen nothing yet. All you're seeing is just an hors d'oeuvre. The real problems are going to happen when this run happens. If we don't beat West Brom, and we don't beat Brighton, and we go into that little run where all those teams I mentioned are going to have ambitions of getting into Europe, getting in the mid-table, getting into the top four. These are all sides with ambitions who are going to be at it and going to see us as a give me, but they know how to play us. We're going to be in serious trouble. So the best thing to do, Mick Arteta, admit your time is up.
Listen,
and with dignity.
Yes, thank you. Listen, Ken, thank you for your words, bro. We'll speak again very soon. Hopefully, things hopefully will turn around, but it's looking very.
You know what you do. You know what you do, Cecil. You're doing that thing again. It's all hopefully. That is not where you've been brought up. The Arsenal you grew up with and you fell in love with. There's no hopeful. There was guarantees.
That fact.
Guarantees for teams like Portsmouth and Plymouth and small clubs.
I had these men on my top, Pierre-Emerick and Ian Wright.
All I've got to say is that there's a guy who used to call certain clubs ex-great clubs. Well, he supports one.
This video is brought to you by eToro. Now, you may have seen that eToro sponsor a number of Premier League clubs, and you might be wondering, who are they? Well, eToro is a global investment platform with over 16 million registered users, which offers everything from stocks, currencies and commodities to cryptos like Bitcoin. Now, if you don't have time to invest, eToro is perfect. You can use eToro's CopyTrader feature, copy top performing investors, so when they make a trade, you make the same trade automatically at no additional cost. So if you're looking to start investing and you want to find out more about eToro, then click the link in the description and get on it right now. Robbie here from AFTV. We just got to say a big thank you to everybody who follows us across our various channels. Over 1 million followers on YouTube. Don't forget, you can now also catch us on Reddit. We're on Reddit, so get involved with us on Reddit and also on TikTok. Keep it AFTV, baby, right here.